Welcome back to my new reading log. I'm so sorry about the background noise. So this week I'm gonna read all about BL as well as GL. I think I only have one series since it is Pride Month. It's been on my plan, but I'm kind of starting late. I'm so sorry about that. So we're gonna start with There Are Things I Can't Tell You by Idako Mofu. Oh my god, really nice touching story about two friends who's been hiding their real feelings towards each other. We got Kyosuke and Kasumi. They met when they were either middle school. Kasumi, a very shy, introverted, Kyosuke decided to start talking to Kasumi. And then ever since then, they've been kind of inseparable until one day, Kasumi kind of blurted out and confessed how he felt. And then Kyosuke didn't agree. It is because Kyosuke grew up very strict. His father was very strict about his grades and lifestyle. And he did say one day that liking boys was not something he should be doing. And ever since then, he has this mentality that he needs to focus about his life and everything else besides loving one another. And then this caused Kyosuke to really hide his feelings, and then whenever Kasumi confessed, he rejected him, and then after that they were separated for a while until they met again, and they started being friends. However, deep inside, these two really love each other. They've been hiding their feelings all this long. And then Kyosuke, he has a very important job, not decision, but position in his job that he pretty much work a lot. He's a workaholic, so this way he can avoid his feelings toward Kasumi. And then Kasumi, on the other hand, has been fooling around, but then he's only doing this, I guess, to also avoid his feelings towards Kyosuke. Basically, these two are just trying to avoid their feelings for each other, but in the end, they finally confess and decide to just go for it and be together. What a lovely ending, I'm gonna say. It's a one-shot, very thick one-shot. I really like the story. It's just beautiful to see friends who decide to confess, and then all this time they've been hiding their true feelings. I think it's just beautiful. But yeah, let me know if you guys have read this. I love reading one shot, just gets to the point. I'll show you the beginning because it has some explicit scene, mostly at the very end, I would say. So this is Kyosuke and this is Kasumi. Alright, only from the beginning, guys, because you know you know. But yeah, really nice illustration. Oh my god, yeah, really cute one shot BL. Definitely recommend it. It's just so touching. Alright, what we have next is A Daisy Jealousy. This is by Ogeretsu Tanaka. This is definitely 18 and plus. A few explicit scenes, let's just say. So we got our main character named Misaki and Kaname. They're actually friends through college, and then their goal is to become a designer, except Misaki wants to make games, and then Kaname likes to design. So these two were a big pal back in college until one day they kind of drifted apart because Kaname did something to Misaki, and Misaki was very surprised. And then years later, they reunited because Misaki worked for a small company while Kaname decided to become a freelance. Now, Misaki has been jealous over Kaname because Kaname is very talented. He's very good at what he does, and Misaki wants to become like him. And since then, Misaki has been trying to become like Kaname, but then Misaki doesn't know that Kaname actually like Misaki. Sorry if that was confusing. So yeah, they started working together because there was a project that they had to work together. And once they started getting closer and closer, well, things happen. Kaname has always had a thing for Misaki because Misaki is just very carefree and friendly. And back in college, Kaname was very shy. He always do things on his own. He kind of avoid hanging out with his classmate until Misaki started conveying conversation with him when they were in college. But again, something happened between these two, and now they're reunited. And then since they're reunited, things started good, and then suddenly Kaname started to make the first move towards Misaki, and Misaki, of course, was, surprised, but at the same time, he felt guilty for just keep going, because thinking that this is one way he can not really ruin Kaname, but like, I guess, I not really ruin, but not distracting. But he felt bad, like he thought he was doing something bad for Kaname, because he's very jealous to Kaname. And then at first he thought that they were sort of going up, but then he realized whatever he's feeling for Kaname wasn't really in good intentions. So he kind of pushed Kaname away. He even quit his job and went back home. And then he realized one day when he was playing a game that was given to him from a friend, and this game design was done by Kaname, and he realized like, wow, this is something I really want. And I guess he felt bad to Kaname, because he kind of told Kaname about everything he felt, like he's jealous. He feels like he was not doing something good for him. And then after all that, they reunited again and then started going out, and things are getting better for Misaki. He started designing for games, and designing for games is always what he wanted. And yeah, these two started living together and started dating. Let's just say it was a happy ending for both of them, because Misaki is trying to learn not to be jealous over Kaname's success, basically, since he's very talented, and now they're trying to work out their relationship, being boyfriend and boyfriend. Yeah, really, really cute BL. I really like it a lot. I found about this manga through and from a Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, I wanted to give it a try because I'm a big fan of One Shot. Again, it's just kind of straightforward, and I like the short story. Yeah, really enjoy it. I can't show it to you guys because there's actually a explicit scene from the middle till the end. Yeah, so yeah, definitely recommend this, of course, especially if you're a fan of One Shot. Definitely give it a try. Right now I'm going through all my One Shot, and then eventually I'll go through the series. So yeah, really good BL called Daisy Jealousy. So this next manga is not technically BL, but it just has like a bromance aspect. For some reason it was in my BL pile, so I apologize, but it's a really, really cute story about two friends named Mabu and Ryo. They're like police officers who are stationed in Asakusa, and then one day it started them finding a pancake in the middle of the sidewalk, and after that they found a baby, and they have no clue where this baby is from, or they can't find the parents. They're supposed to bring it to the hospital, but it's very full, and so they decided to keep it until they can find the parents. So they do bring the baby to the station whenever they can, because they don't really have no choice. And so it's a very, very cute story. Now these two are just very good friends. I believe they're just roommates. And let's see, hopefully I don't get confused. Mabu, the guy in the glasses, he loves to eat sweets and loves to cook, and whenever he tastes a very good dish, he always likes to recreate and make sure it tastes the same thing. And then Ryo is basically the taste tester, so he doesn't mind eating all this good food, but at the same time it can be overwhelming for him. Being a police officer can be a lot, and so time to time they have to help all the locals whenever they need help, from giving them direction, or if somebody's stealing somebody's wallets or purse. So it's a very busy day for them sometimes, but of course they have a baby to take care at the same time. Now throughout the story they did try to find the parents of the baby. However, since they've been taking care of the baby for a while, and it's a girl named Sarah, they don't even want to give it back. Like, they realize, like, who would abandon a baby, and it just seemed wrong to give it back. However, I think Raya went to some sort of like facility that they were saying he needs to give up the baby we can take care of the baby. But then Ryo didn't feel comfortable because once they give up the baby to this certain facility, they would change the name, and they weren't happy to hear that. So they want to keep the baby until the right parents, you know, is there. They also believe that baby Sarah has some sort of mysterious power, like sometimes they get lucky or something miraculous happens sometimes during the day. Now at the end of this volume, they had this dream that Sarah suddenly grew up and then she had to go and she disappeared, but it was just a dream. So in the end, they don't want to give up this baby. They want to keep baby Sarah until it is time, but for now they just need to take care of this baby. And yeah, really cute story. Again, I'm so sorry, it's not really a BL. So it says on the back, this is a spin-off to the anime acclaimed director from Sailor Moon named Kunihiko Ikuhara from Revolutionary Girl Utena Penguin Drum. I'm not familiar with that, but yeah, I didn't even say the name of this manga, but it's called Sara Zanmai Ryo and Mabu. Story by Ikune Rapper. Did I say that correctly? Art by Misaki Saito. Character design by Migi. Yeah, really cute one shot. I think there's another volume of this. I thought I saw it. I was looking to see if I saw that correctly. But yeah, like even it says that this baby is Sarah, seems to have supernatural. And yeah, like I said, like whenever Sarah's around, something happened miraculously, and sometimes they just get lucky. But yeah, really cute story. All right, another BL finished. This one's called The God and the Flightless Messenger by Hage. It's a big fantasy about people with wings. Their main goal is to serve a god one day. So our main character, Shin, he's a little bit different from the rest. He feels an outsider because his wing is small and he can't really fly. So growing up, he was teased and he just felt like neglected. But of course, that didn't stop him. So his main goal is to serve a god one day, and he did. It was an unexpected turnaround for him from his lord, and so he went to down the mountain. There's like about 32 residents or 32 gods. So he went to serve the 32 gods, which is like the 32 mountains. And when he went there, it was like a big fluff of animal. And so he has to make sure everything is neat and calm. And he has this nostalgia feeling that he met this big fluff of ball before, which he did. When he was young, when he was sad and all, he met a little boy. And then suddenly, like, his memory was lost or erased. And that is why he has this nostalgic feeling that I think I met you before, because they did met before. But again, his memory was erased because this guy, which is the god that he's serving, named Baku, he was the one who erased his memory. Basically, he was trying to push him away, but deep inside, he actually really loved him. But yeah, really cute BL. There's some moment where, you know, he was trying to push away Shin, but at the end, like, he really wants to stay with Baku and serve him as a messenger, because that's basically what this story is all about, serving a god. Aside from that, they also need to avoid this thing called chaos. It's like a negative black aura, but then Baku has this skills to eat them all, but however, he sometimes needs to control that, because if not, it will make him sick. So one day he has to save someone, and then Shin wasn't very happy, thinking that he was gonna die from it, but then he did something to save Baku, and then Baku did something to save Shin. But yeah, it's a really cute BL, just back and forth, like, you know, telling each other they don't want to be apart, and at the same time there's like a few foreshadowing, just talk about how they met and what happened when they were young and why Baku decided to push away Shin. But yeah, really cute BL. I definitely recommend it. It's a one shot and it's a teen boys love, so no explicit scene, but it's just very cute. Of all the BL I've read so far, this is definitely my favorite. This one's called The Flower That Seems to Truly Dance by Saki Sukahara. This takes place during a wartime. Now we have our main character Harumi and Sutaru. They're childhood friends. Harumi loves to dance traditionally, and Sotaro just loves watching him dance. But at the same time, these two had a big fight when they were young, and they haven't like seen each other because Sotaro left Japan for Germany, and he was there for 9 years. Now that he's back, his main goal is to make some amends with Harumi, and so he sort of like worked for this place called Tachibana, and then he sees Harumi here and there. He did see him dance again, but it wasn't the same dance when he was young. However, he was trying to like make some conversation with Harumi, but then he finally did, and he still pretended to be someone else because he's kind of worried that maybe Harumi would, ignore him, which he kind of did when he finally revealed his true identity in front of Harumi. But at the same time, he was determined to apologize, and Harumi decided to and accepted his apology. And since this is during a wartime, they've been also worried about like all this raids and getting drafted. However, unfortunately, Sotaro was drafted, and I believe they were able to confess their feelings towards each other before he was drafted. And of course, he had to leave for the war, and after the war, he kind of disappeared. Harumi was of course worried and was hoping he would come back. And then when he visited his old friend, he's like a partner with Harumi because he plays this traditional instrument while Harumi dance. So before all that, Harumi was also a geisha dance instructor, I believe. And of course, the war came, and then after that, he went to visit his friend, and he decided to bring his friend's instrument and decided to play for him and everyone in the hospital, because everyone there is probably like former soldiers from the war, and now they're trying to get recuperated from all that. And when he started dancing and of course crying, because in his whole life he's been dancing for Sotaro because he truly loved Sotaro since they were young, and behold, Sotaro came back. Oh my god, that was the best. That definitely made me cry. Like, sorry if that was a big spoiler, but I definitely recommend this BL. It's just sweet and innocent. Well, there is some explicit scene, of course, but like the way the love story here is just so beautiful. They love each other since they were young, and of course they had that fight and some misunderstanding, and then they decide to reunite. But then during that time, I forgot to mention, which I don't need to because I feel like I already said too much. But yeah, beautiful BL romance. Oh my god, I definitely recommend this from all the BL I've read so far. And it was thanks to Bizarre Individual. Definitely check out his YouTube channels. He recommended this in one of his videos, and I'm so glad I grabbed this story because it is indeed very beautiful. Again, I definitely recommend this. I could probably show you the beginning because the explicit scene doesn't really start until the very end. So I really love the illustration here. You can really feel the vibe that's during either in the 1940s or 50s, maybe early 30s. I could be wrong, but yeah, like they wear Western and some still wear traditional kimono. But yeah, so that is Sotaro and Harumi. This is when Sotaro was trying to be someone else, work under a Tachibana, and this is when he's been trying to talk to Harumi, and he finally. But yeah, really cute story. Definitely give this a read. The flower that seems to truly dance. Alright, I just finished reading this BL called Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. Story and art by Sagan. At first, I thought this was a foodie manga because I got confused with the title, but after reading, it's not a foodie manga. Let's just say it's about a boss and a coworker dating each other secretly. We got Nozu and Togawa. Togawa is in his 30s and Nozu is in his 40s. Now, Nozu has been feeling insecure and anxious about their relationship. I think he doesn't want the office to find out, but then eventually he does tell his close coworkers or friends about his relationship, and they're very supportive. But Nozo, on the other hand, just feel a lot of insecurities, and he just doesn't like the unknown, what's going to happen about their future. But Togawa, on the other hand, he doesn't really care. He doesn't think about the future. All he knows that he truly cared and loved for Nozu. They've been dating for the past 6 months, but it seems like the last 6 months, Nozu just been feeling again insecure, and Togawa, he's very more forward and he knows what he wants. He actually did propose towards Nozu, but I guess Nozu wasn't ready. But at the very end, I think Nozu was the one who proposed, and of course, Togawa said yes. So there's like a back and forth of arguments and conflicts between these two, but ultimately, in the end, they know what they want. They want to tell each other, how they want to go forward with this relationship, and I believe Togawa decided to get a new job, so maybe this way it'll be a lot easier for them to actually date rather than be hiding their relationship towards coworkers. So yeah, really cute story. I do enjoy it. Again, I thought this was a foodie manga, but no, it's not. However, Nozu does like to cook and prep food for Togawa, and of course he's very appreciative because I feel like Togawa is more in the laid back and sort of lazy, while Nozu has it all together because he is in his 40s and he's more responsible, if that makes sense. So this is another one shot. It has an explicit scene. I thought there was another volume of this, but I guess I'm wrong. I'll do my best to show you guys some of it inside because there are some part that's not too explicit, but let's see. Okay, right there. So this is the manga style. It has that square box, and it's not, even though it looks super wordy, it's not that bad. It goes really quickly. Illustration is really nice. Okay, yeah, that's all I can do perhaps, but yeah, because time to time it has like a surprise, like but anyway, yeah, I do recommend this since it was very quick and easy. It's a one shot. I'm not sure if I would keep this though. Yeah, I will see, but yeah, definitely give it a try. I was really hoping to read more, but you know what, I can expect a lot, so I think this is just like a one shot BL reading log. Oh my god, I completely forgot to read one of my Yuri. I'm so sorry. So these one shot were pretty good. I think I found some of my favorites, but let's start with, there are things I can't tell you. This story was not bad. It was just like a back and forth, like, oh, what should I do? But it's still a good story. Then we got next is Daisy Jealousy. This one's not bad either. I really enjoy it. Now the next one is not a BL. For some reason it was in my BL section, but does anybody know if this is a BL? Called Sarazanmai, Ryo and Mabu. This was a really cute story about two police officers taking care of a baby girl. Definitely keeping this, of course. And then this next one, I forgot if this is the one. Oh, I think it was the next one that made me almost cry. So this one's like a big fantasy BL, The God and the Flightless Messenger. Very cute. I believe the boys are still in their teens. I completely forgot. But yeah, not bad of a story either. But the next one truly made me cry, called The Flower That Seems to Truly Dance, because it was like two good friends, and they realized they really love each other. Not only that, like, the guy was missing for a while, and then of course he showed up. That was so beautiful. And then the next one we have is called Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. Another cute story in my opinion. Not too bad, but this one was like another back and forth whether if they should even go out because of being a co-worker. But ultimately at the end, of course, they chose to be together. So yeah, this was a really good read this week, but I was hoping to read more. But then again, I believe this is the only one shot I have left. The rest is like a series. I was about to start Twilight Out of Zone. Oh, Twilight Out of Focus, Volume 1. So I guess I'll save that next time and read like first volume. And yeah, we'll see about that. If you have read any of them, just let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching this reading log. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.